Welcome to The Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and The Daily Dish.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Soulful Saturday. Are you ready? I'll tell you what, I know I am. Right now, Mark is at the airport collecting children. His daughter, Leah's going to be here, her boyfriend, Danon, and their dog, Willie. So Lincoln is going to have a little playmate, shall we say. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Helen and Carla. Good to see you. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be quite the week. I'm really excited about it. Jocelyn's in the house. So's Jackie. I've got a lot to get to today. We're going to be wrapping up our week on making magic. Joanne knows all about that, don't you, Joanne? And Corliss is in the house. Susan. Corliss, I hope you heard Friday's show because I did a whole dealio for talking to you about thyroid and what have you. So there's a lot there. I answered your question and then some because we had some more thyroid questions. Hi, Susan and Sandy. So good to see you. Anyway, and I've been talking to my daughter who's getting ready to move. And, you know, isn't it lovely the way things just fall into place and fit? Isn't it? That's what I love. Anyway, I'm excited about seeing kids and being with them. And we were talking this morning about, how they're just so interesting and funny and just how much we enjoy hanging out with them when they're adults. And I said, yeah, as soon as they get really great and interesting, they fly the nest. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Lucy and Gloria. Oh, good. Carla saw that. So anyway, I've just been enjoying, I'm really looking forward to them. They're going to be here probably before the show is even over. Marguerite just showed up. I'm glad to see her. On Monday, it's the Get Strong Challenge webinar because this Monday coming up, I just got a text saying they just landed. Okay. Yay. So anyway, I go, okay, breathe. We haven't seen the kids. We haven't seen them in a while. So it's been a year and change. Well, pandemic and everything. So on Monday is our Get Strong Challenge because this Monday we start our collagen challenge because while we're starting a new one, we're learning about the next one. That's how we make the whole thing roll. Makes it easy on you. Then you can get set up and you get to know everything. And remember, when we do these webinars, they're for your education and edification purposes. Also, that's where we drop the free guides for you so that you can print them off and use everything there that you're going to want. Because we always have a guide for everything. So that's how that works. So do check it out. Go to savingdinner.com/strong. Sign up, get your seat. And as you know, it's on Crowdcast. So as you know, party on. Girls, we are going to do it again. Pinkies up, pinkies up, pinkies up. Now, if you don't know about the Collagen Challenge, I'm going to throw down that link for you too. You can go back and watch it and pick up your guide. savingdinner.com/collagen. Okay? But the live one is on Monday. And we're going to get down with our bad selves. We might play some music. Right now, we're developing our playlist for Full Bloom. Can you imagine? It's going to be amazing. We also may be doing a little karaoke if you come in person. I don't know, but I'm telling you, Noreen's going to be all about that. Sarah said she was just listening to You Believe in Magic by the Love and Spoonful. Perfect. So, wow, Rachel, I'm glad to see you. 6 months of getting off the wagon. We're going to bring you back on the wagon. All of your sisters are here to take care of you. So we're here to love you up. That's what we do. There's my YOLO. They're getting their bags and such. Okay, that's all. That's good. and I'm here and I'm doing a show. You have 14 hours of music on your road trip playlist. Share that, would you? Send an email to support@savingdinner.com if you can share it. It's on Spotify or whatever. Just share it with us because Amber's putting it together. And I'm going to tell you, one song that came up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was up since 5. We're so excited about these kids coming. And Mark and I were like, bah, 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 talking the whole time. You know how it is. Hey there, Juanita. So anyway, playlist is big time and important. And guess what else? We are also, every time you show up for a Crowdcast webinar, we've decided it's party time. So we're going to be throwing down the music and sharing the tunes. There you go. One other thing that I wanted to tell you. So by the way, Full Bloom, if you're not coming, you're going to be missing out. savingdinner.com/bloom to get your ticket. Now, here's the thing. You can come virtually. So get your virtual ticket. Go ahead and do that. And maybe you're going to want it. Maybe all of a sudden things will just snap into place and you can do it in person. Wouldn't that be cool? Right here in Brevard, North Carolina. Fly into Asheville. It's really easy. We got people coming from all over the country. I want you to be there too. Just check it out. Will you just do that for me? savingdinner.com/bloom for that. Okay. Now, Friday is Food Fight Friday and Q&A, and I always forget. So I wanted to show you something that y'all have not everybody has this, so don't get jealous. But if you have a Trader Joe's by you, look for these. These cauliflower thins are thebomb.com. Can I just tell you? Thebomb.com. They have in them, well, they have cheese in them. So you go easy, cheese and egg. They have 2 servings per container, it says. So there's 4. So you can have 2 of these little things. And they're really good with eggs. You could use it as a taco shell if you want to. And they have three carbs total, but 2 grams of dietary fiber. So the net is 1 gram. Yes. And they really are nice. And I like them crunchy. So pretty good. Pretty good. We are going to get the Spotify list together. We're getting our list together and we will share it too as well. I don't know how. And I just asked Amber to do it because I knew she would be on top of it. I just knew she would. I want Happy on there too because I'm happy. You know that song by Pharrell? I want that one on there as well because you have to sing that song. And I'm also thinking Soul Train dancing, like everybody gets in a big Soul Train type of a thing. That will be going down on Full Bloom. I am a party animal. Can I just tell you? That means that doesn't mean that I'm like, a derelict or anything like that, drunk and laying on the floor in my own vomit, like, on toga parties and all of that. It means that I love a good party. I love to have good food there. I love to have all the people there. And I make sure everything is going as according to plan. So when I say it's time to conga, baby, we're gonna move it. We're gonna move our money makers. That's what I'm talking about. One other thing that I want to tell you is just, will you have patience with us as we get all these packages out for you? You made our gala a huge success beyond what we thought would be. And I said, as Mark was putting everything out there, he was just like blown away. And he said, oh my gosh, I'm having to order all this other and blah, blah, blah. So just be patient with us. We are putting it out just as quickly as we possibly can. Our new quote of the week is a long one, but boy, oh boy, this is a doozy. Maybe it's 2 cosmic 2x4s. If you wait for the perfect moment, when all is safe and assured, it may never arrive. Mountains will not be climbed, races won, or lasting happiness achieved. That's Maurice Chevalier. Good? Who knew? Thank heavens for little girls guy could come up with such a great quote. But it's true. This is the risk that we take for living magical, vibrant lives is the way that these things get done and the way that these discoveries are made. It starts with curiosity, moves into creativity, and then that's when the magic happens. What do you think they thought of, Orville Wright, the Wright brothers, when with all the flight stuff. What do you think they thought of that? It's really crazy. Well, look at that. Sarah shared her Spotify list, and she's calling it Full Bloom September 21 Road Trip Playlist. That's amazing. Thank you for that, Sarah. All right, so we have been talking about magic, and yeah, of course, we do have our Friday Q&A. Remember to send those in, our questions in. Those are important. This last Friday, yesterday's questions, really good, and lots on thyroid. And yes, to answer your question, we will be doing a thyroid webinar until the new book comes off. It's not going to happen. I have no room right now for any new projects, but I promise you, it's definitely on my radar. Probably going to be more like fourth quarter of this year, but it'll be worth it, especially I think people start to, that's when you start to really notice that something's not right with your thyroid. So that'll be super helpful. So I went through the whole thing, I was talking about, how do we make magic? We were talking about that and talking about acknowledging your own creativity, which I think is massively huge and massively important, and something that you just can't get away from. If you start to understand and notice and feel your creativity, then you're going to start to see some magic happen in your lives, because creativity is one of those big little hinges that open wide the big doors. It really is. And the reason why is because creativity, again, I'm not talking about arts and craft, but creativity asks questions that are appropriate so that we can get solution oriented, so that we can see our way into a new answer, a new solution, a new way of just feeling about things. It really makes a humongous difference. And it is the beginning and the start of getting creativity into your life. But you remember when we were little kids, do you remember laying on the front yard? I remember laying on the front yard, and we had just like a gentle slope on our front yard. We lived on Sunset Drive in Whittier, California. And I remember looking up at the sky and watching the clouds with my girlfriend, and just saying, well, that one looks like a giraffe, and that looks like a dinosaur. And you remember doing things like that, and picking dandelions and blowing them. Do you remember how everything seemed so magical when you were little? How just everything, like puppies, were just amazing, and how on and this brand new discovery. Well, I'm going to invite you to just take things in with a child's eyes. Take things in as you're enjoying that sunset. Remember, we talked about experiencing a sunset versus just watching one, and how things change when we decide to go just a little bit more in. Well, that's what I want to talk to you about today, because, once upon a time, there was a time when a dandelion wasn't a darned weed in the yard, but it was a magical experience of blowing and watching the little fluffies go dispersing into the air. Everything was magical. And then when we got to the grown-up part of our lives, we figured out that, forgive me for this is a millennial thing of adulting, but adulting's hard, and things are tough, and it's really, it's not as easy as it used to be. We didn't, have to worry. We have to worry about like keeping the electricity on and having a job and doing all the things that adults have to do. And adulting can just pluck the magic right out of life if we allow it to do that. Yes, we have responsibilities. Yes, we have to step up to the plate. Yes, all the way. As adults, there's a lot expected of us. But that's exactly it, Joanne. She says a child at heart. But being a child at heart is where we find our magic, because through a child's eyes, everything's magical. So I've got 7 things for you to start practicing this week as we wrap up, and they're good for the soul, and they're good for and they're good for everybody around you, because I think that when we spark this kind of magic in our lives, that we bring along so many people with us. And that just makes all the difference in the world. It makes for joyfulness to happen. Exuberance is my new word. I love the word exuberance. And vibrancy obviously comes out of that. You know, the word vibrancy comes out of the word vibration. It's all high vibe. That's what all of this is. High vibe. And it sparkles like nothing else. So what do? Number one, the first thing that we need to do is understand that magic is there. It's all around us, as a matter of fact. Expect it, know that it's there, and start looking for it. The same way a child would do that. You know, children look for magic. They look for something that's just going to, like the dandelion in the lawn, or finding the flowers and making a daisy chain and putting them in their hair, or seeing something for the very first time. Just the way that they express themselves. It's a beautiful thing to watch. And if we can experience it like they do, we're catching the magic. And number two is being present. I mean, duh, right? But we don't want to be those people. And we've talked about this before, where all of a sudden you get in the car, you're driving, you get there, and you think, oh my gosh, I don't even remember driving here, because your mind is just so caught up with all the adulting things that we have to do. But if you're present, even in driving, you might notice something beautiful. Or even with doing some mundane tasks, it might give you a moment to think about things that you're grateful for, whatever it is. But being present is the way that we find the magic, because the magic is in the present moment. It's not hidden either. It's right out there. So being present is going to help us with that. Willow said she would sell dandelions to the person who took care of the property we rented as a child. Aww. Now I get to sell other pretty flowers as an adult. That's so beautiful, Willow. I love that. Being present is a prayer. You're right, Joanne. And I really believe it's also acknowledging God when we do. This is my personal belief, and you guys, you're welcome to disagree with me. But I believe that the way we live our lives can be a prayer to God, and that the way that we are running our lives, so to speak, can be a prayer to God. The way we serve others, the things that we do, and the words that we say. He's always listening. So why wouldn't it be? Especially if we're doing things that are honoring. That's just a thought. That's my crazy making way of looking at things. Number three is, speaking of God, what has he said over and over and over again? To love one another. What have we been told? Love one another, love one another, love one another, love one another, love one another. The way that I loved you. On and on and on it goes. And that's one of the keys. We have to turn up the love. God knows, and we all know how desperate, how thirsty we all are for love right now. Don't even think about turning on the news unless you want to get yourself completely dirty and have to go take a shower. It really is that sad, and it is that pathetic, and it does drag everybody down. So when we make a decision that this is the day that that the Lord has made, right? That I'm going to be present and I'm going to love one another up. I want you to think about something for a minute. And I'll tell you the story. I was in the nail salon. I did get my nails kind of fixed up a little bit. But I also had I had a manicure, just a simple, not even any polish, just cuz. But I went mega pedicure. Like, what's your big guns? I mean, this thing cost me like $50, right? It was expensive. I forgot how expensive stuff like this, but I was like, no, I want all of it. I said, you have to understand. I mean, I shaved my legs for this appointment. you know, I shaved my legs for this appointment, and there were hot stones involved. There was rubbing and this, that, and the other thing. And it was decent manicure. It was pedicure. I've had really great ones. This wouldn't be considered one of the greats. But I made it a point not to bury myself in my phone and connect with the woman who was doing $50 is cheap. Wow. I didn't know pedicures were so expensive. Once upon a time. Oh, well, it's been a while. So I made it, and I said, what is your name? And she was a little Vietnamese lady, and she said, oh, she kind of blushed a little bit, and she said, it's V. And then she asked me, what's your name? And I said, it's Leanne. And I helped her with pronouncing it. And she didn't know a whole lot of English, but I told her what a lovely job she did and how much I appreciated that. And it felt so nice and all of that. And she just blushed. And I know I made her day. That's magic right there. And don't we all have the ability to do that? Don't we all? That's being present. That's acknowledging one another. That's loving one another up. We get to do that. We get to be those women. We get to. When we walk in that kind of vibrancy and when we make a decision that it's our job as God's messengers here to light one another up. This woman, she comes from a completely different culture than I do. She was probably around my same age. And I'm going to tell you right now, this little lady, and it just kind of makes me cry. I know that there's a lot of times when somebody who's, washing your feet like Jesus did feels invisible. I believe it's our duty as a human being, as a grace-filled, loving woman created by God, the apple of his eye. These women who are washing your feet are exactly the same as you, created in his image, just like you are, magnificently and fearfully made. Can you imagine just skipping over people? I think it's just heinous. And I think it's up to us to be present and loving. That doesn't mean you have to sit there and have this gigantic conversation. Connect for a minute. I just kept telling her I'm just so appreciative and how much I loved it. And oh, it felt so nice. And thank you, thank you, thank you. It was such a treat. I think I had everybody in the shop laughing because I told everybody I shaved my legs for this appointment. Are you kidding me? It was like a date. I was so excited about being there. But we need to be present. We need to be loving each other up, and we need in just the smallest ways. I want somebody to walk away and say, you know what? She made my day. You know what? I appreciate that. I say something every single day to Mark how much I appreciate him. And I'll say to him, by the way, I love you. By the way is our little funny thing that we do with each other. And just little things. So I want him to know he's loved up. I want my children to know they're loved up. I make it part of what I do. It's what I have written in my goals, and I've gotten a lot better at it because I write it out every single day. It's so amazing what happens when we do that. That is harnessing the magic. It is. Lucy says those connections make my days. It does, Lucy. I agree with you. When we do this, right, Sarah? Yes. Toby Mac's song, Speak Life. That is speaking life. That's speaking love, And number 4 is to speak the truth. I think we need to all speak our truth, but we do it in love, for heaven's sakes. I'm so tired of people walloping each other upside the head. And it's my way or the highway. And, think for a minute. I just want you to just big picture think about this. We all have this notion that we're right. It's not true. We all have, we come from a place of thinking that we're right, but we're not. We're doing the best that we can with what we have. And we bend and we go along the way and allow for that and allow for others to have a different thought than you, a different opinion than you, even a polar opposite one, allow for that. You are not the truth bearer. God didn't say, oh, I'm going to make her the standard bearer for everyone. Because I see this garbage written in social media where the self-righteousness is just disgusting. You know, we can't do that. We need to love one another and speak the truth in love, always in love, covered in love, oozing in love. Vibrancy happens with that. Magic is full of that. That's exactly what. Oh, you know what, Jama? If I had the ability, I would put my toes up here right now, but I am not that limber. I would put my toes up here. Full bloom pink is what they are. Yes, they are bright pink, and I don't have my polish here. Love it. I brought my own polish too. China Glaze, I think is the name of the thing. And I don't know, it is a bright, bright pink, and I just love it. Number 5 is you gotta believe in miracles. Do you believe in miracles? I do. Maybe you're not going to be, I'm not going to be walking on water here at Lake Wantesca, but the miracle that I believe in is the fact that we're even here in this house on the water with Wanda of Wantesca sitting down there waiting to take all my full bloom lovelies on a little trip around with a charcuterie board and a little wine. That's a miracle. That's a miracle. It happened. It was on my vision board and it happened. That's a miracle. And you know what? That's magic right there. That's magic. And I'm going to hold on to that for the rest of my life. I'm never, ever going to lose that feeling. I'm never, ever going to lose my appreciation. And I'm never, ever going to let go of that. Because when I hold on to that, I'm holding on to the other magic that's going to be coming in and the other miracles that are going to be coming in. Because that's how God operates. It's just that incredible. Oh, do you love that? So miracles are real. And you know what else? You know what else opens the door besides curiosity and creativity to magic? It's gratitude. I'm telling you, when you feel the gratitude deep within your heart and you really feel it and you start to express it on the regular, things shift. Oh my gosh, your perspective shifts. Your magical thinking becomes real. You have to have that though, because gratitude, without gratitude, there's a hardness in the heart. There's a shell that's there. There's an impenetrable armor. Gratitude's soft and it's open and it's large and it's inviting and it's amazing. It opens the door to empathy. It opens everything up. It makes you feel like a soft, tender, loving woman that you're ready for anything, especially ready for the magic. I love that, Martha. Martha says, I feel the same way. God created such a wonderfully beautiful world, didn't he? And when we have the gratitude for all the things, even the rough stuff, even the rough stuff, and I believe in miracle. Everything that we've done, I've believed in miracles and they keep showing up. And the gratitude that I have for, oh my goodness, you should see my journal. It's just oozing with gratitude. And it makes me feel good. And I know this is the whole point. See, if you believe, you're going to get. It's amazing what happens. And then number 7, the last thing is curiosity, of course. It's going to create space for all of this. Without curiosity, we're not even going to think about it. Without like, what if, what if the, kind of a thing. What if? Such a great question. Not, oh, what if the sky falls and, none of that garbage, but what if I just said, okay, show me, God. What if I said, yes, I believe in miracles. What if I was really gracious and loving to this poor woman washing my feet? What if I did all these things? What if I opened the door to all of this? What would happen? Curiosity will kind of trigger all of that. It gives us space for all of it. And it gives us an opportunity to say, oh, can you imagine? Oh my goodness, Sarah, she just put that right in the chat. That's pretty funny. Can you imagine? Remember Anne Shirley in Anne of Green Gables? So much scope for the imagination. She embellished everything, and everything was quite, quite beautiful. She loved the name Cordelia because she found it to be much more more beautiful than plain Anne. Everything about Anne Shirley, that kind of decorate, that if you've never read the series, I'd strongly suggest it. It's such a lovely book. Lovely series of books, rather. And I loved when she said things like that, because I just remember as a girl reading these books and thinking, yeah, I think the same thing. I used to play in the summer and pretend I was at a French boarding school. And of course, when I finally went to high school, I took 4 years of high school French. So I wanted to be fluent in French. Not that I wanted to go to boarding school at 18 years old, but whatever. Anne Shirley is definitely a kindred spirit. She is. And Anne Shirley would be a part of this group, don't you? She would. Of course she would. Because she would be talking about this absolute exuberance and love for God, nature, fellow women. Yes, she would. Yes, she would. So that's it for us. And I don't know about you, but my heart is just full when I think about this kind and this quality of magic that we could create at any time when we decide. And as we create that magic, we get to live with it. And that just decorates and paves the path for vibrancy in all that we do. Why not? Don't you think that's just a little bit better than being just caught up in all the things going on in the world and being constantly cranky and angry and scared and fearful and all the rest of it? There's no room for magic when you're like that. So I'm inviting you to just find your own magic in your own life. And just know, just like Anne Shirley, that the scope of your imagination is something that you have the ability to open up. Open up. The door to that kind of success, it opens inward, not outward. It opens inward, and it's all inside here. Go out and create that kind of magic in your life today, will you? With your family, with your friends, with somebody in the grocery store. You have the ability to do it. I think it'd be really, really beautiful. That's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that. Tomorrow is Sunday, and we will be dark, but we'll be back on Monday, Motivational Monday. I have no idea what our theme of the week is, but we'll have one by then. Thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. And if this meant anything to you and you found it helpful, pinkies up. Send it out to the world and share it with a few friends, would you? Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.